Imagine a trade war that doesn't target steel or oil, but targets tourism, movie theaters, and music concerts. As China and Japan lock horns over Taiwan and semiconductor technology, Beijing has retaliated by weaponizing culture and tourism, hitting Japan where it hurts the wallets of ordinary citizens. The Chinese state officially advised its citizens to refrain from visiting Japan, leading to mass cancellations of flight tickets. This escalating geopolitical conflict is forcing Tokyo to face a terrifying reality: the China risk. It's the same threat that crippled South Korea's entertainment industry in 2017. And Japan is now racing to adopt Korea's crisis response playbook to avoid economic disaster. Chapter 1: The Geopolitics of a Plane Ticket. The current friction between Japan and China is a textbook example of a proxy war fought with soft power. The immediate impact is tangible. Chinese state advice leading to mass cancellations of flight tickets to Japan. This shows that culture and tourism are the first casualties of politics. The conflict isn't primarily fought with tanks and missiles, but with tourism advisories, content bans, and technology controls. These are weapons of economic and cultural pressure. While the diplomatic crisis has many layers, the core question is not if China will retaliate, but why Japan is willing to risk this long-standing and crucial economic relationship now. Chapter 2: Friction Points. The Taiwan Trigger and the Semiconductor War. The current flare-up has several specific causes, starting with a significant political trigger related to Taiwan. The new Japanese Prime Minister drew strong condemnation from the Chinese government by publicly suggesting the possibility of Japanese intervention in the event of a Taiwan contingency. China reacted sharply, labeling the remarks as nothing less than the revival of wartime militarism. This flashpoint is layered on top of the chronic dispute over the Senkaku Islands. While Japan maintains that the uninhabited islands are inherently Japanese territory, China aggressively asserts its claim, often dispatching China Coast Guard vessels into the area, which heightens military tension. The final element is the economic battleground over technology. Japan has openly aligned itself with the US in the technological hegemony competition. This involves strengthening semiconductor export controls on 23 advanced manufacturing items, including critical lithography, etching equipment, and photoresists necessary for producing cutting-edge chips. China views this as an attempt to stifle its technological advancement and a violation of free trade. China's response has been clear: condemnation of the controls and stern warnings that it will not sit idly by and will respond resolutely. Given the historical economic damage China has inflicted through these soft power attacks, why are Japanese leaders choosing to risk this relationship now? Chapter 3: The Korean Precedent. How the Hallyu Ban changed the game. To understand Japan's current anxiety, we must look at the Korean precedent from 2016. The precise trigger was South Korea's decision to deploy the U.S. Terminal High Altitude Area Defense (THAAD) missile system. China argued that the system's powerful radar threatened its national security. In retaliation, China implemented the Hallyu Ban, an unofficial, large-scale sanction on South Korean culture and business. K-dramas, K-pop performances, and fan meetings were completely banned or cancelled. Major Korean businesses faced intense boycotts. The largest single market for Korean content was instantly blocked, creating a massive crisis. This crisis, however, turned into an opportunity. Forced to survive, the Korean content industry made a strategic pivot. They realized reliance on a single, politically volatile market was too dangerous. They aggressively pursued global standardization and Western market penetration. This strategy of diversifying away from China became the foundation for the eventual global success of K-pop and K-dramas like Squid Game. South Korea's content industry nearly collapsed, but then conquered the world. What were the specific, non-replicable strategies they used that Japan is now trying to copy? Chapter 4: Japan's Pivot: Why the West is the New Safe Harbor. Japan is using the Korean experience as a risk management model. The lesson is simple: political risk in East Asia is too high. The strategic goal is now risk diversification. The immediate pressure is clear. The same subtle, Japan content ban, is emerging, with Japanese artists seeing cancellations of performances in China. This is the final push factor. Japan's response is an accelerated pivot towards North America and Europe. These markets are politically stable, offer predictable legal environments, and guarantee high-value, long-term returns. This strategy is embodied by the Cool Japan engine accelerates. State support for global content export is now being specifically directed towards North American and European digital platforms, bypassing Asian regional political constraints. If Japan successfully adopts a West-first strategy, what is the ultimate cost to its long-standing cultural and economic ties with China? Chapter 5: The Blueprint: Adopting K-pop's Global Playbook. Japan's survival blueprint is based on two core shifts, mirroring the post-Hallyu Korean strategy. First, the digital platform foundation. Japan is shifting away from traditional bilateral distribution models selling rights country by country, toward global over-the-top platforms like Netflix, YouTube, and Spotify. By distributing content globally via these platforms, content effectively bypasses regional political regulations and censorship. Second, the adoption of specific K-content strategies. Localization accessibility. Increasing the use of English in music and content promotion to remove language barriers. Similar to how K-pop groups increased global accessibility. Global collaboration. Actively seeking strategic collaborations with renowned US and European producers and artists to integrate into mainstream Western markets. Quality over censorship, utilizing global OTT investment to produce high-quality, creatively free content outside the restrictive constraints of Chinese censorship. Much like Squid Game achieved unprecedented creative freedom, the political conflict, while painful, acts as a decisive catalyst. For both Japan and Korea, geopolitical risk is the ultimate driver of global innovation and diversification. The future of Asian soft power is not about dominating Asia, but about capturing the West.